1. Introduction. My name is Melanie. I am a young woman, and this is my story. It is a strange story, but it is true. My life changed when I started working on a film set. It was a busy place, with many people working hard. My job was a wardrobe assistant. This means I helped the actors with their clothes. I made sure their shirts were clean and their trousers fit well. It was often hard work, but it was interesting. One day, a very famous movie star came to the set. His name was Ashton Vance. Everyone knew him. His face was on posters everywhere. He was very popular. When I met Ashton Vance, I quickly learned he was not an easy person. He was famous, but he was also difficult to work with. He complained about many things. He often complained about the clothes or other small things. He used my name, Melanie, when he complained. From the first day, we did not like each other. He thought he was very important. I thought he was annoying. We were very different people. We did not get along at all. We had arguments often. They were usually small arguments about his clothes or what he needed. For example, he might say a shirt was not the right color. I would say it was the correct one for the character. He did not listen well. He always wanted things his way. It was frustrating. This happened every day. Every day felt like a small fight with Ashton Vance. My friends on the set saw this. They asked me how I could work with him. It was not easy. We were like two people from different worlds. We just did not mix well. I wanted the filming to finish, so I did not have to see him anymore. This was the start of my strange story. 2. One big mistake. Filming was finished. Everyone was happy because the hard work was over. There was a big party for everyone from the film set. It was called a wrap party. There was loud music, good food, and many drinks. People were talking and laughing together. I was happy the film was finished too. I usually do not drink very much, but that night I drank more than normal. I felt relaxed for the first time in many weeks. I saw Ashton Vance across the room. He was with other people and laughing. He looked different. He looked more like a normal man, not a big movie star. Later, I was standing alone outside on a balcony. Ashton came there too. He stood next to me for a moment. Then we started to talk. It was strange. We talked about our work and how it felt. We talked about the good things and the difficult things. It was the first time we talked like this, not like the old days with arguments. We both had too much to drink. We talked for a long time. He seemed different that night. He seemed less difficult and more human. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he was lonely. I saw a different side of him. We laughed together. The bad feelings from before seemed to go away. I do not remember everything clearly from that night, but one thing happened. We were together for one night. It was a mistake, a very big mistake. The next morning I woke up. I was in a hotel room. Ashton was there too. The sun was shining. I felt very bad. I felt a lot of regret. Ashton woke up and looked at me. He looked as surprised and unhappy as I felt. The good feeling from the party was gone. The old difficult feeling was back, but worse because of the mistake. He spoke first. His voice was not strong. He said, "This was a mistake." I agreed quickly. "Yes," I said, "a huge mistake." We did not talk much more. We got dressed very fast. We left the hotel quickly. I thought, okay, that happened. Now it is finished. I will never see Ashton Vance again, and that is good. I was sure it was the end of everything between us. 3. A baby coming. A few weeks went by after the party. My body started to feel strange. Every morning, I felt sick in my stomach. It was a new feeling. I also felt very, very tired all the time. I wanted to sleep more than usual. At first, I thought maybe I was just feeling bad because the film job was finished. Life felt different, maybe a little empty after being so busy. But the sick feeling did not stop. It happened every day, day after day. Then a thought came into my head, a thought that made me feel cold inside. Could I be pregnant? I thought about that one night with Ashton. It was a mistake I wished I could forget. But maybe I could not forget it. Maybe it changed everything. I knew I needed to know for sure. I went to a shop and bought a pregnancy test. I took the test when I was alone at my home. I followed the instructions carefully. I waited for the result. It felt like a very long time. My hands were shaking a little as I held the small test stick. I looked at the window on the test. There were 2 lines, 2 pink lines. The test was positive. I was pregnant. My world felt like it stopped moving. Pregnant, with Ashton Vance's baby, the famous movie star known by everyone, the man I had argued with so many times on set, the man I had one night with and felt so much regret about the next morning. How could this possibly happen? I felt a wave of shock wash over me. I sat down quickly because my legs felt too weak to stand. I was deeply shocked and very, very scared about the future. What would my life be now? What would his life be? What about this baby? I knew one thing clearly. I had to tell him. He was the father of this baby. He had a right to know this very big news. But telling him felt like climbing a very high mountain. It felt like the hardest thing I would ever have to do. I knew he would not be happy. I remembered how much we did not like each other for weeks and weeks. I needed to find a way to speak to him. I asked a friend who worked on the film set if they had the phone number for his agent. His agent was a woman named Sylvia. I called Sylvia and explained that I needed to talk to Ashton urgently. I said it was something important and very personal. We arranged a meeting. We met in a private room at a quiet cafe so nobody would see us. He arrived and looked like he did not have much time. He seemed impatient. "What is it, Melanie?" he asked. His voice was not friendly. I took a deep breath to try and stop my voice from shaking. "Ashton," I said, my voice quiet. "I'm pregnant." He stared at me for a moment. His blue eyes opened wide. Then he let out a sound that was supposed to be a laugh, but it was sharp and full of disbelief. "That's not funny at all," he said. "What do you really want from me?" "It's not a joke," I said, feeling a little anger mix with my fear. "It's your baby. From that night we had." The color left his face completely. He looked pale now. "No," he said again. "It can't be true. That was only one night. It was a mistake." "Yes, it was a mistake," I replied. "But mistakes can have big results. I am pregnant and you are the father." We started to argue then. He said things that made me feel bad. He seemed to think I was lying or wanted something from him. He was very angry. I felt angry too, and hurt and very scared about everything. It was a terrible, painful conversation. But then, after we had argued for a while, the anger seemed to leave him. He stopped shouting. He just looked at me quietly, and in his eyes I saw that he looked very, very scared. This was real. A baby was coming into the world. A sudden wedding. After I told Ashton about the baby, his agent called me. Her name was Sylvia. She was a serious woman with strong eyes and a strong voice. Sylvia said the baby was a very big problem for Ashton. He was a famous movie star, and people knew him as a single man. Having a baby now, not married, would be a big scandal. Sylvia said it could really hurt his job and his name. Ashton had a new movie coming out soon, and it was important for him to look like a good person, a family man. Sylvia had a plan. She said Ashton and I must get married very fast. We had to do it quietly. Then we would tell the public that we were secretly in love for many months. We would say that the baby was a wonderful surprise for us, a couple who loved each other very much. I did not want to marry Ashton at all. We did not like each other. We argued before, and our one night together was a mistake we both regretted very much. I told Sylvia I could not marry him. It felt crazy, but she said it was the only way. She said it was necessary to protect me, the baby, and Ashton's job and his future. She said Ashton had agreed to the plan because he needed to keep his good name for his fans and his career. So, my life changed very fast. About 1 week later, I married Ashton Vance. It felt unbelievable. It was not a happy day. It was a very small wedding in a simple office. There were only a few people there: me, Ashton, Sylvia, and 2 other people who worked for Sylvia. There were no flowers. I did not wear a white wedding dress. No one smiled or cried happy tears. Ashton looked very sad, like he was at a funeral. I felt the same way. It was a sad and strange wedding day. After the wedding, Sylvia made us go to a nice restaurant. When we left the restaurant, many photographers were waiting outside. Sylvia had called them. She told us to hold hands and smile like we were a happy couple in love. Ashton gave a small smile that did not look real at all. I tried to smile too, but it felt very fake. It felt like a very big lie that the world would now believe easily. This sudden, arranged wedding was the strange beginning of my new life. I was now married to a famous man I did not know well because of a secret and a plan made by his agent. 5, our new home. After the sudden wedding, I moved into Ashton's house. It was very big. It was beautiful and modern, high in the hills with large windows. But it felt cold. Not cold from the air, but cold inside. It felt empty, like a house where no one really lived. Ashton and I lived like strangers. We had separate rooms. My room was nice, but it was far from his. We didn't share a life. We shared a house, but we didn't live together. It was very awkward. We barely spoke. When we did, the words were short and careful. There was no easy talk, no sharing. It was quiet and lonely in the big house. I often felt trapped there. I missed my small apartment, my old life, my friends. This new life was strange and difficult. I was pregnant, married to a man I barely knew and didn't get along with, living in a house that didn't feel like home. Because of Ashton's job and the baby news, we had to pretend. For doctors, for people we met, and especially for the public and the press, we had to act like a happy couple. We held hands for photos. We smiled for cameras. We told the story Sylvia made up about being secretly in love. Every time, it felt like a big lie. It was hard to smile and pretend when inside I felt so alone. Sometimes, in the morning, I felt sick. Ashton would see me, and he just looked uncomfortable. He didn't know what to do. He would just walk away. It showed how little we knew each other, how strange our situation was. We had doctor's appointments together. Sylvia made sure of this. One day, we went to see the baby on a screen. It was an ultrasound. We saw our baby, very small, with a little heart beating fast. It was amazing and scary. Ashton looked at the screen. For just a second, I saw something change in his face. He looked surprised, maybe even a little bit soft. He didn't say anything, but I saw it. It was the first small moment that felt different, a tiny crack in the coldness between us. The baby was real, and it was connecting us in a way nothing else could. 6. Little kind moments. My belly started to grow more and more. As the pregnancy went on, small things began to change between Ashton and me. It was very slow, like tiny pieces of ice melting. One evening, I wanted to get a book from a high shelf. I could not reach it. Ashton came into the room. He did not say anything. He just reached up and got the book for me. I said, "Thanks." He only nodded. It was a small thing, but it felt different. He also started to ask me, "How are you feeling today?" Before, he did not ask. Now he waited for my answer. He seemed to listen. One night, I wanted some strange food. I wanted pickles and ice cream. It was a funny idea, but I really wanted them. I said it quietly, not really to him. But the next evening, there was a jar of pickles and a big box of ice cream in the fridge. He did not say he got them, but I knew it was him. We started to have dinner together sometimes. We did not do it every night. At first, we just ate. It was quiet, but the quiet was not angry or uncomfortable anymore. It was just quiet. It felt more easy. One day, I was trying to put together the baby's crib. The instructions were difficult to understand. I felt tired and a little sad. Ashton saw me. He said, "Let me." He sat on the floor and started to work. We did not talk much, but we worked together. I gave him pieces of wood and screws. We worked for many hours. When the crib was finished, we both stood up. We looked at it. It looked good. "It looks good," I said again. "Yeah," he replied. And then he smiled. It was a small smile, but it was real. Not a fake smile for the cameras. A real smile just for me. These little moments were important. They were like small lights in the big, quiet house. They showed that things were changing between us. We were not just two strangers living together for a plan. Something new was starting. 7. Real love starts. We started to talk more often during the evenings we spent together, not just about the baby or the house we shared. We talked about our lives before, about when we were children, about our families, about things we hoped for in the future. We told each other about our fears too, the things that worried us deep inside. I learned that Ashton was not just the famous movie star I saw on posters and TV. He was a person with worries and doubts, just like anyone else. He was afraid of many things. He worried about being a good father. He said his own father was not often there for him when he was young, and he worried he would make the same mistakes. "You will learn," I told him one night, speaking softly. "We will learn together. It is new for both of us. We can help each other." He looked at me in a new way then. His blue eyes looked warm and open, not cold or angry or bored like before. It felt like a wall between us came down. Our conversations became easier, more honest. We could talk about simple things or quiet things without feeling awkward. One night, we had to go to a movie premiere for his new film. There were many cameras and people watching us. I felt nervous standing there. My dress felt tight over my big stomach, which was now very round. Ashton took my hand as we walked onto the red carpet. His hand felt warm and strong in mine, a comfort. "You look beautiful, Melanie," he said quietly, just for me to hear over the noise. I felt he truly meant it, not just saying words. On the red carpet, he kept his arm around me. He smiled for the pictures. But then he turned his head and smiled at me, just me. It was a real smile, full of warmth and something new. When I smiled back at him, it felt real too. It was not for the cameras, but a true smile between us. When we came home that night, the big house felt different. less cold and empty than when I first moved in. We did not go to separate rooms like usual. We sat together on the sofa in the living room. "Melanie," he started, his voice a little unsure, like he was finding the right words. He stopped for a moment. "This whole thing, our marriage, it started as a big problem, a necessary lie we had to tell the world." I nodded slowly, remembering the difficult start. "Yes, it did. But," he continued, turning his body to face me completely on the sofa, "being with you, living with you here these past few months, it doesn't feel like a lie anymore." He took a deep breath, looking directly into my eyes. I care about you, Melanie." He said it slowly, clearly. "More than just pretending for other people, I think I am falling in love with you." My heart started to beat faster and faster in my chest. It was hard to believe these words were real, coming from Ashton Vance. "I care about you too, Ashton," I said, my voice soft. "A lot." It was true. The man I thought I did not like, the man I argued with every day on the film set, I was starting to feel love for him. And it seemed, somehow, he was starting to feel love for me too. Our fake marriage was becoming real. We were not just living together anymore because we had to. We were starting to build something true and strong between us. 8, our happy family. We finished the baby's room. It was a nice room now, ready for our son. We painted the walls soft colors. We put in a comfortable chair. We built the baby's bed, the crib, together. It was not easy, but we did it. We laughed when we tried to hang the mobile. It was a mess, but it was our mess. We prepared everything for the baby. We washed tiny clothes. We bought many diapers. We thought about names. We felt ready, or we hoped we were ready. Soon it was time. One night I felt the first pain. The baby was coming. We went to the hospital quickly. Ashton was with me every minute. He stayed by my side. He held my hand very tight. He talked to me softly. He told me I was strong. He looked worried but excited too. It was a long time. Then our son was here. He was very small, only 7 pounds. He was perfect. The doctor put him on my chest. I felt so much love. Ashton looked at our son. His blue eyes were full of tears. He smiled a big, real smile. He held our son carefully. "He is beautiful," he whispered. "So beautiful, Melanie." He looked at me too. His look told me something important. We were a family now. Life changed completely with the baby. It was very busy. Every day was full. We did not sleep much at night. The baby cried sometimes. We had to change many diapers. It was hard work, but we did it together. We learned how to care for our son. Ashton was a wonderful father. He learned everything fast. He held our son close. He walked with him when he was sad. He sang funny songs to make him happy. He made him laugh. I saw a new side of Ashton, a soft, loving side. He was not just a movie star anymore. He was a dad, our son's dad. Our big house was not cold and empty now. It was full of baby things. It was full of noise and love. We were a team. We helped each other. When I was tired, Ashton helped. When he was tired, I helped. We were a real husband and wife now, real parents working together. People still watched us. The newspapers took pictures, but now they saw the truth. They saw a real family. Ashton holding our son. Us smiling at each other, real smiles. It was not an act. It was not a lie anymore. The story Sylvia made up, the one about secret love, it became true for us. We started with a mistake, with arguments, with a plan that was not real. But it brought us here to this life, to our son, to each other. Now we are a happy family. It is not always easy. Life is very busy with a baby. But we are together. We have love in our home. We have our son. It is the best thing that ever happened to us. Who knew that a strange story could have such a happy ending? We did not plan this life, but it is our life now, and it is good. It is very good. We are a family, our happy family.